The unexpected footage that changed everything. It was meant to be a subdued, nothing ever different ever happens kind of morning in Robyn Brown's home in Flagstaff. The kind of morning where nothing out of the ordinary ever really occurs. TLC was there to get some routine background footage, just the ordinary stuff for a future recap segment. Robyn, the perpetually poised fourth wife, was reclined on her leather sectional, sipping her accustomed cup of herbal tea in the living room. The camera crew, accustomed to documenting Robyn's serene and faithful personality, had their cameras rolling as usual. But what they actually ended up recording, well, that would create a storm that would rock the very foundations of the Brown family. As she sat there believing the cameras were merely quietly gathering B-roll, Robyn was on the phone with her older sister, Kendra. What she did not know was her microphone was still live and picking up every conversation. Her voice became harder. That soft-spoken, gentle voice. It gave way to something crisper, more gritty. Stirring her tea, Robyn sneered. "Cody's still playing that he's drowning in the money issues," she stated. "Please, he's signed off on the reorganization." Then the kicker, and Janelle still believes that she has a legal claim to that Coyote Pass property. It's just pitiful. Off camera, a producer was rolling his eyes, clearly shocked. Had she just said that she and Cody orchestrated the financial restructure, one that excluded both Mary and Janelle? Robyn's tone fell to an even lower pitch with venom wrapped in pretend concern. "I wish they'd all just go away," she whispered. "I mean, bless their hearts, but they can't even take care of their kids, their marriages, or their finances." She produced a fleeting, almost caustic laugh. It was not the Robyn public we're accustomed to witnessing. The camera crew immediately recognized they had recorded something big, something potentially incendiary. Back in the editing suite of TLC, the footage raised red flags. This was not a moment of careless slip-up or a catty aside. This was cold, calculating manipulation. And it did not fit Robyn's long-standing reputation as the innocent, peace-loving wife dragged into family conflict. Robyn had meticulously played the misunderstood victim for years, but this tape relayed a rather different tale. Behind the closed doors, inside document. Robyn instructed the cameras not to record her dealing with Cody's children unless the scene made her appear warm and nurturing. The courtroom collapsed. Robyn showed up at the early hearing in a threadbare gray cardigan, unadorned. Face visibly shaking, but there was no soft lens to be found here. This was reality under oath. When the judge questioned why her own daughters had made contradicting videos if Robyn had been misrepresented, she crumbled. "They don't understand," she wept. "Christine is influencing them." The judge cut her off. "Ma'am," he said simply, "your children are adults. They acted on their own. TLC isn't your problem." The truth is, the courtroom was silent. In the second row, Cody had his head in his hands. The women speak again. After the dramatic courtroom defeat, TLC broadcast a 2-hour sister-strong live premiere event. The nation watched and asked questions in real time. "Do you think Robyn feels remorse for what happened?" one viewer asked. Christine didn't hesitate. "I think Robyn regrets getting caught." Mary, being more subdued, contributed only, "You can't lie forever. Truth has teeth." Janelle, she was direct. "Didn't lie to us." She stated she lied to Cody. She lied to our kids. And she lied to America. Dan Evangel Fall. 3 weeks following her defeat in court, Robyn was seen alone at a Flagstaff grocery store. There was no glam squad, no TLC crew, only dark sunglasses, a sweat-worn hoodie, and the air of someone who had lost more than a fight. A paparazzo asked whether she would appeal. When paparazzi questioned Robyn Brown whether she would appeal her lawsuit, she didn't scream at them. She didn't weep. Merely whispered, "There's nothing left to fight for. Everything is gone." Fans on social media labeled the moment the fall of Queen Robyn. Even loyal fans, those who once were convinced she was the faithful last woman standing wife, started abandoning ship on Reddit. Posts such as Robyn's house of cards has collapsed, and we owe Christine an apology gained tens of thousands of upvotes. Cody's final word. A few weeks later, Cody Brown met for what would prove to be his last LATLC interview. He was gaunt, fatigued, and devoid of his characteristic bluster. "I was deceived," he confessed softly. "But I let it happen. I pushed away the people who sacrificed everything for me, all for a conception of love that wasn't there." He paused to rub his face. For the first time in years, there were no dramatics, no rants, just introspective sorrow. "My family is lost," he said. "They lost faith in me, and I somewhere lost myself along the way. No excuses, no spin, just regret." The women rise. As Cody receded from sight, Sister Strong racked up records on TLC's streaming platforms. Janelle applied her newfound platform to start a nonprofit that empowers women who have survived spiritually abusive relationships to regain control of their money. Mary, who was living a more subdued existence at this point, started dating a Utah novelist and therapist. Inspired by him, she began working on a memoir detailing her path through and eventually out of polygamy. Christine and David Woolley created a mixed family, bursting with love and laughter. They worked together to host retreats for women wishing to reclaim their freedom and identity. The final shot of Sister Strong's first episode became iconic. The three women, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, standing together in a desert field at golden hour, the wind in their hair, smiles on their faces. "Everything was lost," Christine said. "But we're free now," Janelle added. And at last, Mary finished. "We're a whole kind of, but nobody asked for." Robyn Brown disappeared from public life after the courtroom fallout. No shows, no interviews, no social media. 2 months went by in silence, and then suddenly her name surfaced again. This time within the publishing community. A business leak verified the release of Robyn's book, The Sacred Heart: My Truth as a Sister Wife. Coming in the fall, it was billed as a deeply personal spiritual memoir about betrayal, motherhood, persecution, and being misunderstood. The sequel to the cover story then followed in a full-page newspaper advertisement. In it, Robyn held a dog-eared Book of Mormon, tears in her eyes, and surrounded by dramatic lighting. The caption stated, "I gave everything. They blamed me." But the audience had moved on. The public did not accept her back. Not now. Critics and fans had pounced on the idea before the book even reached store shelves. Cashing in on a victim narrative after lying on TV and being chastised by her own children, one user demanded. Another quipped, "My guess is each chapter has a good cry." And in what became the internet's new battle cry, #Sacred Lie trended within hours of publication. What Robyn had once held in command, sympathy, telling, even the tears had finally been wrested away from her. Advanced review. Copies of The Sacred Heart started circulating among insiders. And the material caused even more controversy than anticipated. In its pages, Robyn blamed all parties but herself. Faulted TLC's editing for perpetuating a fictional narrative. Asserted Christine had embarked on a spiritual sabotage mission against her. Blamed Mary for emotional abuse and patronized Janelle. As someone who remained merely for money, what surprised readers the most? Her suggestion that her daughters Aurora and Brianna had been swayed by outside forces into turning against her. Kendra speaks out. Only days after the book's publication, Robyn's older sister Kendra finally spoke up. She had remained in the background during the family saga. Up to this point, she posted a raw, emotional 12-minute video on YouTube entitled Robyn Brown, My Sister, Her Deceptions, and the Truth. It wasn't rehearsed, wasn't scripted, and that made it that much more effective. "I adore my sister. Kendra started out trying hard, but I saw her lie to those women. I saw her create a tale where she was always the hero and everyone else the bad guy. It just wasn't real." She took a breath, pulling herself together. Tears brimmed in her eyes, but they didn't faze her. They filled her with power. She wore her tears as a shield, and when folks stopped believing her, she turned on her own children. And before finishing the video, she left the viewer with one chilling question. If Robyn shares a story with you today where she's a victim, ask her who she blamed last year, because it's never her. The internet blew up. The video gained 4.6 million views in 3 days. Aurora and Brianna take back their story. For weeks, Robyn's daughters had been quiet, particularly since their first TikToks became viral. But that all changed after they read early in their mom's book. In a tearful Instagram Live, Aurora and Brianna broke their silence at last. Their words were cautious, but their pain was apparent. "My mom doesn't get to rewrite my story," Aurora whispered, her voice quivering but firm. "I'm not being disloyal. I just finally saw the truth." Brianna spoke softly too. "We loved her. We tried to believe her. But she turned everyone against each other. We were just kids. We were used. We're not corrupted. We're not strangers. We're just not blind anymore." The response was unprecedented. That broadcast broke records. Over 2-3 million people watched live, and millions more streamed it afterwards. It's a spotlight of their own. Seeing the influence their words could have, TLC made contact with Aurora and Brianna. The outcome was a one-night TV special. From our perspective, the voices of Robyn Brown's daughters. No sets, no swooning music, no filters. 2 young women sitting next to each other on a simple couch with journals, letters, and unfiltered images from the last 15 years spread around them. It was still candid and very moving. At one time, Aurora remembered a conversation from years past. "Mom said to us, 'Don't believe what they say about me. They want to hurt us. Be loyal. Don't ask questions.'" And then Brianna read an entry in her diary when she was a teenager during the move to Flagstaff. "Mom says Christine was jealous and mean, but I don't understand why she was so scared of her. Christine always smiled at us. She never appeared frightening." The special did not require bombastic music or sensational production. The reality was sufficient, with Aurora and Brianna revealing their hurt. Not only from their mother's manipulation, but the childhood that they felt was lost. Creeping dread clung to their faces. There was no requirement for music that was dramatic. The feeling was self-explanatory. Robyn's last public sentiments. One day after the show ran, Robyn attempted once again to talk publicly. She didn't go live. She didn't make a statement. Rather, she posted a solitary sentence to her Instagram stories. "Even if the world turns my kids against me, I will always love them." It was brief, bittersweet, and empty. The following day, her profile went dark. No more tales, no media interviews, no court hearings, just silence. The women react together, stronger. In the latest episode of Sister Strong, Christine, Janelle, and Mary met at a retreat they jointly hosted in South Utah. It was serene, toasty, like taking fresh air deep into your lungs. The event's theme, taking back your story. When someone asked during Q&A about Robyn's book and the daughter's recent award show special, Mary responded softly, "You only have so much time to keep lying before the truth comes out?" Janelle nodded. "I'm proud of Brianna and Aurora. It takes real strength to walk through manipulation and still stand tall." Christine wiped a tear but smiled. Those girls didn't just survive Robyn's world. They're building a life of their own now and will support them every step of the way. Every step of the way. Doors of TLC headquarters, executives argued back and forth in heated meetings. Should they broadcast the footage and risk facing the possibility of legal repercussions? Or should they cover for Robyn, who had become one of the show's most sensational and pivotal stars? Before they were even able to make a decision, the video leaked. A low-level editor, irritable or perhaps just tired, emailed it to someone involved with a scandal blog. And then the internet did what it's best at. It went ballistic. Within the next day, Terms such as hashtag ROIN, exposed, and #sisterwife scandal were trending on YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. The backlash, it came quickly. Janelle initially viewed the video when her son Logan presented it to her. She sat silently in her rental house. Seeing Robyn mocking her financial breakdown was like a gut punch. She didn't utter a word, simply placed her phone on the table and stared off into space for an extended 10 minutes. Mary learned while she was out in Utah on a work retreat. Initially, she laughed more out of shock than amusement. That emotion, though, dissipated quickly and was replaced by tears. For years, she'd convinced herself Robyn was just lost, perhaps a bit bewildered. That fantasy was destroyed in a heartbeat. That evening, Mary put up a cryptic quote on Instagram. No explanation, just a soft message that said it all. The wolf behind the tears. A wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf, even if she weeps. That's the quote Mary uploaded. And soon the internet was ablaze. The comment section erupted. But it was no longer just about Robyn's words. It was about the demise of something greater. As for Cody, the speed at which everything crumbled stunned him. Not Robyn's betrayal. Deep down, maybe he even expected that. But how quickly the world turned on them. When the producer showed him the leaked footage, he dismissed it immediately. "She didn't mean it like that," he said, visibly flustered. "You're twisting her words." But behind closed doors, he was outraged. Not only at Robyn, but at how vulnerable. He appeared weak, deceptive, like a man caught red-handed wearing a mask. Particularly when she told him to act as if he was heartbroken. The manner in which she made the offer so nonchalantly as if it was of no consequence. That's what hurt the most. The house, which had once been filled with family noise and chatter, grew cold. Thick silence settled in the air like mist. Tension. So heavy, even the walls held their breath. Cody couldn't meet Robyn's eye. He slipped quietly into the guest room once again. And it wasn't only the adults suffering the brunt. Dayton and Aurora, usually subdued and deeply protective of Robyn, were devastated. Aurora, in particular, felt hurt. In a taped exchange, she lashed out at her mom in tears. "Why you say those things? When you say you love the family, do you mean it?" Dayton, who had increasingly moved away from the public eye, sat down for a rare interview. His voice was low but sharp. "I believe people are finally getting to know who my mom really is," he said when the cameras are rolling. "She's not the person she poses to be." And then another bombshell fell. Another pre-taped confessional from season 18. And season 18 came to light. Yet another leak. In it, Robyn stated, "All I want is for Christine to stop tearing it all down. Mary, I just wish you'd let go. And Janelle, I hope she finally realizes she doesn't belong." Each of the sentences started out with an "I wish," but with no kindness behind them. Just bitterness, all wrapped up in phony concern. Fans recognized the telltale tone at once. The veiled insults, the mass bitterness, the sugar-coated voice with razor-sharp edges. Only now, it wasn't rumor. It was evidence, and the viewers didn't censor themselves. "She's no longer crying." One fan tweeted, "She's calculating." This is what a narcissist sounds like when they forget the mic is still on. The outrage became too deafening to ignore. Under increasing pressure, TLC finally spoke up. They issued the following statement. "We are dedicated to revealing the actual lives of our cast. In the spirit of honesty, previously unseen footage has been authenticated and will be highlighted in upcoming episodes." Translation: no more editing out the tears, cliches, or the manipulation. Robyn's mask had slipped and TLC wasn't going to give her a pass anymore. And then came the final twist. TLC announced a brand new 3-part spin-off. Unscripted, the truth behind Sister Wives. A raw, no-holds-barred look at what really happened behind the scenes. Robyn refused to participate. Cody hesitated, but Mary and Janelle, they were in. "You want the truth?" Mary told producers. "We lived it. and were ready to share every messy, painful, and heartbreaking piece of it. Even Christine returned. As she emerged on set, the room was altered. Her eyes